Yes, let's go. Oh, that's so funny. That cable connects into there. Spot on. The cable header is the exact same as this cable header. It just connects in straight away. And this allows me to use the USBs on the top here and the headphone jacks. So now the USB 3.0 doesn't work, which is this cable. And then I've got to figure out what this one does now. We're finally getting somewhere. And look, this, I don't know why I've got this in now. So this thick cable that goes to this green socket, yeah, this delivers this delivers these two USB ports and headphone jack and microphone port. Yeah, but this is part of that case. I want it for this case, and it has the exact same situation at the top with the fact in mind about the two headphone and microphone and USB ports, and then you got the button there, and then you got two other buttons there, and then you got the lights, and then you got USB. Yeah, that's what this had. This is confusing. Hang on a minute, is it actually... No joke. Did I plug this? This is a joke, but I'm going to try it out anyway. This is going to be an absolute funny joke if this is actually true, because that's missing a pin, and this is missing the pin in the exact same location. It's like, you've got to be joking me. Oh my god, that one fits perfectly, snug as a bug, as if it existed there. So now we've got this cable plugged in here, we've got this cable plugged in here. That was originally plugged in to this yellow cable, which was part of this, and then...
The next day.
Okay, so I realised that there's actually standoffs. I've been screwing that into there. There's one there, and it's meant for that one. All I needed to do is screw on this standoff into the board. There you go. Now I can put that into there, so that means it has support from that one and that one. Obviously that already has a standoff type thing, which is here. Is there a standoff there? No, but the next stuff there's not. That's the only one that actually needed to be put back, to actually be put on, because you can see that is possibly bang on spot on. Now I could screw that back in on that side and actually put a screw on there. So oh my god, absolute legendary that was. I'll move that on that side. So you can see I've screwed it, managed to screw that down quite nicely. That actually sinks in really, really nicely. Like that corner's not going to go anywhere now. This is still got a little bit of wiggle room on it, don't know why. And then this, I actually managed to screw in this one down as well, but you can see it's off-centered a little bit because for some reason it's just like that with the screw. And then obviously this side, because the graphics cards are screwed down to this side, you don't really need to screw it down on this side. And then these two holes here and here, they don't even line up with anything. So you just got 3 screws at the top, 2 screws where the graphics cards are. Okay, right now I think for temporary reasons, I'm going to use these. I've got 2 sets of USB fans, exact same, and I've got a spare one here as well. This is the first one that I got, and then I got a pack of 2. So basically this, I'm going to stick on this side here, and then these 2, I'm going to stick on down, I'm going to stick one down here, 2 fans that side, 1 fan that side, and I will be using the original screws either in here or here to actually install them into this case, and then the USBs that are on them will get just plugged in this motherboard side right here. That's actually not that bad now. That's not even wobbly as hell. Even though it doesn't even have an I/O shield in front of it, that's not even wobbly anymore because it has a screw there and there now. Because bear in mind that this side used to be really, really wobbly. It's like, okay, don't touch these ports. They're a little bit too wobbly and too loose. And then it's like, okay, no problem. Those are my USBs, those are my inputs, and then we've also got the 2 inputs up here. 4 up there. So it's fine. But yeah, let's hope that we can install them. Okay, I know it's a crazy idea, but I zip tied these 2 fans together. They're one screw in there, one screw in there. I've also blue tacked it in there, that one in there, so it's not really moving. And then yeah, these are just temporary anyway. They will just push cold air into the case type thing. So yeah, and then now I just got to figure out how to put this one. Possibly all the way up here, I think. Or here, I don't know. But now snip these cable ties off type thing, which were originally inside here. I don't think I need particularly for anything useful, to be honest, so it's like, yeah. I hope not, I didn't need one for anything else. Nevertheless, they're on there, put the cables through, and then yeah. Right, there we go. So all the cables, I think, have now gathered their way into where this power supply is supposed to go. Yep, they're both in here now. Yep, they're both in here. So, they trail from this bit, which then that means I can go to the back of the case and route that one, so they go up there instead, so they're a lot more closer to the USBs rather than being where they are at the moment. And obviously you can see this is what the fans look like, and then now I'm going to place this cover plate back on and hope that these don't get in the way. But nevertheless, you would never know that there's two fans here. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, I can tell that they might do something. Look at them, snug as a bug they are. Okay, so this is the progress update. I've installed the third USB fan. The cable comes out towards here, and you can see I've installed it this way. Because you think about it, I've installed these two fans, so then they suck fresh air in through this bit, and they may possibly blow these two fans. I don't know. We'll have to see. Even though they don't get draw power or anything, that would be quite nice. And then it will push air, fresh air all over here, and then this one will push out fresh air and bring it up towards here to blow onto the CPU, and then obviously the CPU will have its own fans, and then it will possibly have enough to come out through here. So it's basically still going on its intended design, where it will be coming down and then all the way up and then coming through. So it's still got that motion of going from right to left, apart from you got two USB fans and there and one there. Now these two fans are a lot more stronger than that one, and that's quite weak, that one, compared to those two, but as long as if it gets some type of airflow in it, it don't really matter. Okay, slight update. This is the speaker, and it came with this motherboard. It's the tiniest speaker anyway, but I've just basically clipped it onto this bracket and then taped it in because it keeps on falling out type thing. So I've taped it in at the bottom just there. The USBs, they've been plugged into the motherboard, two here, one here, into USB 2.0. Obviously the fan is here and two fans are here. This cable runs along and comes through here. These two fans come out the sides just here, and then they run up, and then I tucked them in between this wire here, which are these wires here, run along, come through here, and then they come through and get plugged in. So that means that I can actually cover up the back. Just like so. Okay, I made a genius discovery and move. That fan's not going to go anywhere. And I've made it out of Kinect frame and everything. Yes! Okay, so yeah, I think it might actually be a lot more easier to take the fan off this than it seems. Because This came with the original PC because it was originally in here, but now I've moved it into here with the additional 3 USBs on the side, with this fan facing towards up, these 2 fans pushing towards the sides, this meaning it will create a draft going like this, and then it should possibly come out the top or something like that. But bear in mind, the power supply that will shoot off this way, meaning that these intakes might just work, you know, but it all relies on this, the heatsink going back on there. This is not the heatsink that is going to go back on there because, like I kind of already said, it's going to break it. Yep, I'm breaking it. Ah, there we go. Something clicked. Take that out. Definitely get a new CPU cooler for crying out loud. Oh my god, I was this close to touching this. I already said the old it's broke on that one. That one's broke, but nevertheless, the 3 other, these 3 completely fine. This one, I had to snap it off and break it off. So yeah. Also on the back, on the back of this motherboard, you need to actually put a plate on it. Luckily enough, the one that I ordered actually comes with a plate, so you can stick that behind it and then you can put the cooler there. But that cooler will have to be, I'll have to unscrew the cooler that I ordered. I will have to unscrew the fan and put in this fan, because this fan has the connector that will work. Nevertheless, it won't work without. If this is stuck on here and I can't remove it, I'm not really going to be happy. It's here! Yeah! It doesn't say that on Amazon though. No, it still says it's still arriving, but it's here. I don't care if that's not how you open it. That. Now, we grab the PC. It's not heavy, no, it's big. Been waiting for this for quite a while, because the only way that I can turn on this PC is with a new cooler and new thermal paste. Okay, that's what I mainly needed. Nevertheless, the cooler, beg to differ. You watch, this is the wrong connector. This is the wrong connector. I'm gonna have to unscrew this fan. See, is this gonna be annoying or something like that? In the fact, it looks all good, it looks all nice. That don't look like it comes off. They can use it. It's a bigger heatsink. Yeah, but imagine if this just, you know, works. Imagine. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I only needed the bracket. Nevertheless, I didn't actually need the thing I actually ordered. I was right! I didn't actually need a new cooler or anything. Nah, I'm just gonna put the old cooler back on. Yeah. So, today's date. So, because all the series, I'm going to place that over there. So all this series is going to be pre-recorded, so if you're really, really interested, it is March the... Wake up. Thursday the 19th of March, 5:31. This video won't even come out until a month. So, yeah. That will be fun. And I bet you a load of people will possibly tell me off because I'm using just plain old tissue to wipe that. Just so then realise I can put my thermal paste on it from here. And then that means I can do this. Now, this back needs to be removed as well. Okay, so you can see the point being where this mounting bracket needs to go on. I've just untaped it. Hang on a minute, I've just untaped it and now I got up. Oh fuck. You know what? I just want to apply a new one. Then that means that no one can tell me off that I didn't apply any new thermal paste or something like that. There you go. No one can tell me off. I did do new thermal paste. But I just took this off, so meaning that I'm going to have to place this back on the motherboard. Oh, no. Right around there. Oh god, now I need a screwdriver, and I was not ready for that. Why, oh why, did Ethan forget about the most important step, the screwdriver? Okay, so that's stuck on, so surely I can just lay it down and just screw it down now.
A few moments
The
later.
fourth one in. I don't actually think I actually need the third one. Yeah, that's in, that's nothing because there's nothing there. And then, yeah, that's in. Okay, now we got a CPU back inside the PC. Yeah, and this is the bracket. Nevertheless, this is the new CPU cooler that I ordered. Turns out all I wanted to do is steal the bracket. Yeah. I just stole the bracket off a brand new CPU cooler. Oh, wow. Now, generally speaking, I need the power button for this PC. Yeah, this PC needs the power button, and you know where that is? It's here. But this is the front panel. You get my point now. Okay, so, funny story. I actually managed to take, this is the power on and off switch for the motherboard. Yeah, funny story, I managed to take it out. And, yeah, that does nothing now. Because there's no wire behind it. And then, I almost dropped a bit of glass. And that is very important towards the case. Jesus Christ. Oh God, I really need to take a break. No, you don't. You just want to see if the damn thing works. Has all this effort paid off? Okay, it's time. We've got the one extension lead that goes from the one plug. It is already switched on. Yeah, leave it switched on. The plug is here. You can see it's plugged in through that bit, and then it wraps around to here because then that's the only way that I can get it to work. And then you're gonna have to try and somehow convince it to get plugged into there. But we need a display port. We can go from HDMI in the graphics card, but for the time being, I want to see if this turns on, and I hope that I haven't broken it or anything. So I'm gonna go straight into the motherboard first to see if we still get a signal out of that first. Right, that's in the motherboard. We'll power on the portable monitor. Now, this is from a power bank that I don't really use that much. So I hope that it works. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Airflow is there. As long as there's loads of airflow is there. Okay, that's good. So we got loads of airflow there, and we got a fan there, all powered from this power bank at the moment. But once the PC gets running and everything, we'll just plug them in directly into the motherboard. In 3. Wait, hang a minute. Turn this back on. Yep, there you go. What I'm gonna do, because this plug looks like it's not gonna quite reach, but it's only gonna reach if it's gonna struggle, is I'm gonna do it like that. This plug is not going to reach. Okay, it's closer. That's still running. Those two are still running, and they're coming out really quite cold and everything. I've put my electrical tape on this side because it's the two desks are not the same height. It keeps on going into power saving mode, like wake up. Alright, this is getting sick and tired of it. 3, 2, 1. Please be a lot. Actually, I need to hold. Hang on. Don't hold the camera. No, don't hold the camera. Just hold it like that. Okay. This. Here. This is all good in an angle. Plug. Into plug. Right around. Turn that back on. Now. I hear a fan kicking. And I'm unplugging now. I am unplugging now. Why is it beeping? Okay, so this might have been blinking because there's nothing plugged into that socket. And at least now I have these LED lights. Like, you know, at least I actually plugged in the cable for it. So this is actually telling me what's going on, and then this is the on and off switch, and then you notice that there's 2 different cables in there. I bet you it's because the second fan is not plugged in, which is coming out to here. Try that again, because we might get a display, you know, so. Oh, yeah, there's no timer, I completely forgot. Okay, so we have it plugged into the TV now. And the situation is also at, let me just disconnect the power supply, just so then I can route this cable out of this. So the graphics card, which is this thing, and this thing, you can see they're both graphics cards type thing, they plug into graphics card slots. Yeah, we've delivered ages ago. Don't know why I just got that message. I'm going to plug this back in here. Couple of things as changes. Obviously I've made sure that this is actually connected and everything. The fan is there, and the secret button, hidden button here, that is, I've taped over it. So yeah, it can't be making any funny games with me. If this makes noises, I don't know why. Why are you making noises? I'm getting no display out. I don't think I need to change the source. Okay, so this phone is currently on Samsung Dex mode onto here, but it turns out, yeah, it might be a RAM type. It might be a RAM problem or a faulty power supply or a dead CMOS battery. Clearly obvious it's not a CMOS battery, and the power supply is definitely not obvious. It was obvious, it was the RAM. I'm pretty sure it's the RAM because like these are properly clicked in now. And I actually had to brute forcefully click them in, and turns out, no, when you insert them in, if these things still stay up, that means it's not clicked in. You actually have to wait until these have clicked in. So now, if I go ahead and try, it should post on this portable monitor, or even on the TV, once I've disconnected it from this phone. Because bear in mind, I've plugged in a graphics card into the VGA slot, and to convert it into HDMI, and it's also getting an adapter, and I've also got the cable up there. Fingers crossed, and that was the issue with the fact that it was making a beeping sound because the RAM wasn't properly inserted in. Let's hope so. Better be the RAM issue. I tell you, that RAM wasn't, I don't think that RAM was properly plugged in, so that's possibly why it was just beeping, because the RAM wasn't actually properly plugged in. But what one is it going to display? Is it going to display out the graphics card, or is it going to be displaying through the TV? Now, it should not beep at me because the graphics cards are the things. It did it! It did it! It did it! It turned itself on, then turned itself off. On. Come on. Well, it's showing a white light. And this is not posting. Pat is going into power saving mode. Oh wait, hang on a minute. That is not plugged in. It's displaying, but it's white. It's displaying. That's not a no signal, surely. That's not a no signal. That's a blue screen. That is a blue screen. Okay. So I got blue screen. I need to somehow plug that into the portable monitor so I can actually see what on earth I'm actually doing. It's a recovery settings. So the PC was off for too long, and it's going into recovery mode, and that's why it didn't turn on, and that's why it's on white mode at the moment. And yeah, there's no graphics card or anything plugged into it, but there's a graphics card plugged into it, and it needs the drivers for that. But at least I didn't break it. Yeah, and it works within a different case. Hang on, let me just plug my other fans in. So this is my mouse, and I'm going to have to plug it into the front panel of a non-existent front panel. It looks like Windows didn't load correctly. If you would like to reset and try again, restart below or choose the other options for troubleshooting for which channel is something we could help with. Just restart then. I don't have a keyboard plugged in, I only have a mouse. Windows! Windows! There's Windows! 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 I don't have a keyboard plugged in. Nothing's plugged into the graphics card. What are you doing?